Gonna miss him.
Fucking shit.
Everybody go watch Near Dark. Yeah, but I was like, I want to watch that movie again.
I've never seen it.
You never
You've
seen
never seen
Titanic?
Titanic?
No.
That's crazy. I saw that movie like 15 fucking times.
I've seen that movie so many times. I used to watch it on VHS at my grandma's house in like elementary school.
Double
Like,
VHS?
all the time. Yeah, the double VHS because it was so long.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I just thought it was like really scandalous that there was like boobs in the movie.
Totally.
So I was like, whoa.
And I'm like, same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you watch the Oscars?
I did. I was about to say that. I was really drunk watching the Oscars.
Nice.
I went on a Facebook rampage. Want to hear some of my statuses?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. The last one I posted was at 12:11 a.m. And it said, "Whoa, what?" with a bunch of question marks. Moonlight Best Picture with a bunch of exclamation marks. Another one I
Nice.
posted, Amy Adams, Queen of the Cleavage and also my heart. I posted Riz Ahmed with a bunch of hearts. I posted Fuck Suicide Squad, LOL, all caps.
Yeah, I can't believe that movie won an Oscar.
I know, I cannot believe it.
I mean, I guess it deserves it, though, to be fair. If it were gonna be up for that, you know, it was deserving in that category.
Yeah, I think that's like the only, like,
yeah,
okay category for
Definitely.
it to be, you know, nominated and
but
won
yeah,
for.
I'm pissed that it won. Because that
Yeah,
movie
me too.
sucks.
And then I was like, oh, the last one I'll mention was How to Make Me Emotional. Put Robin Williams in an Oscar montage.
Oh, yeah. The montages were pretty
They always are.
pretty bitey this year.
Yeah.
The In Memoriam was rough.
Yeah.
Prince and shit.
Yeah.
Such a bummer.
Definitely. And then I
Prince
shared
and shit.
And then I posted a bunch of Moonlight stuff because I was pumped on it.
I couldn't believe that. We were like out eating pizza and I watched it later on my DVR, like when I got home, and I still hadn't spoiled it for myself, like what happened. So I'm like seriously just like almost like had like a spit take. I was like, what in the fuck is going on? Like
Yeah, it was crazy.
it's such a weird moment. Like, and I couldn't believe it because they were so far into accepting, you know, the
Didn't, like,
award.
Two people already give
Yeah, like
speeches
they
at
were
that
like
point?
two people had already talked. It was just like insane. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Dude.
So crazy. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Warren Beatty really handled it well. Like, he immediately
He
was
tried,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, like,
Yeah.
I made a mistake and this is how I made the mistake and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
and,
I've
like,
heard
like,
I've heard a lot of people like bad talk him so far about it, but it's like, you
I
know,
don't think he deserves that.
it's not his
honestly.
fault, and he tried to make up like a story to like cover it up so no one else would have to take the blame, which I thought was kind of cool. But
Yeah.
you know,
Apparently the Academy's
happens.
like, we're gonna take action about this, and I'm like,
so annoying.
how?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Like, how about you just should have gave the movie out proper? Because that's how I feel like what happened.
Yeah.
Something's fishy.
yeah. Um, what did you watch, Dave?
I watched a few things. I watched the other Clash of the Titans because it was in a 2-pack, so I figured why not watch that too. So
Had you ever seen that one before?
I haven't seen the remake, so this was all fresh to me. While I do, after rewatching the first one, I do feel that it was in need of an update. So, and I think this was pretty good. There were some things that the first movie did better. I didn't like that this Kraken looked like the Cloverfield monster. That was kind of weird. But I did like the new Zeus because
Say that 3 times fast.
the new Zeus, he wasn't as petty as the original Zeus in that movie. He gave a few fucks as opposed to the other Zeus not giving any fucks at all. But still less than what the normal daily recommended amount of fucks given should be. And then Hades, I thought looked really cool in this. He wasn't even in the first one, or if he wasn't in the forefront like he should have been.
Yeah.
And the effects surrounding him were really cool. The one thing that I did not like about it is that they had like the whole pantheon of gods around, you know, in the beginning when they were all like talking and setting up the story, and only like 2 or 3 of them spoke. They didn't really focus on any of the other ones. It was basically Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, and Apollo, and that's it. You know, there wasn't anybody else really with any speaking roles, which made me sad. Show the other gods some love. But then there was the Medusa,
The hot one?
No, she was not a hot Medusa.
God.
Now I
I
thought,
don't know.
2 weeks building up to this.
yeah. I did think that the original Medusa looked a little bit scarier. This one was a little more. She looked very fake. I didn't think she looked like you said a hot Medusa. I don't think she was hot at all.
Can't be
She
hot
was
if
just-
you're fake.
Yeah, she just looked too fake. But I did like when she was turning people to stone. That's when she got ugly. Like I feel like she should have been kind of like that the whole time. The effects
just
on it were
think-
awesome, and I like how fast they turned. They were just, that effect was great too. Yeah, and I thought the scenery surrounding it, like I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be really cool because there's a bunch of shit to like climb around and
Right.
all these levels, but it didn't really pay off
Yeah.
for me. I thought, all in all, I thought it was okay. I thought the scorpions were really cool. Like they'd be pretty treacherous to fight, especially if they kept getting bigger like they did.
Yeah.
There was a Bubo thing that I didn't like. Bubo is fucking badass.
Oh, what?
You know, Bubo, the mechanical owl.
What?
Mm,
Yeah, he was awesome in the first one. And
gotcha.
then they just kind of treat him like an afterthought.
They're like, his name's Bubo. We don't give a
Bubo.
shit.
He's a fucking owl. He's cool. Mechanical. All right. And I also watched the miniseries that was on Adult Swim, Neon Joe Werewolf Hunter.
Nice.
It's a John Glazer vehicle. They're filming the second season right now. The first one's only 5 episodes, but it starts out, Paul Rudd is in it, and he's going to a secluded B&B, and he's on the phone with his agent, and he wants to just get away from it all for a couple weeks and, hang out with the simple people and,
Yeah. The
uh,
simple people.
well,
Yeah. I know. I just
You know,
imagining like that phone call is funny. I haven't seen that show.
So he hangs up with his agent, and then he gets slaughtered by a werewolf. So Neon Joe shows up and is on the case. But yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, you should check it out.
Nice.
It's on demand, or
Cool.
at least it was at the time of this recording.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about that. I haven't ever got around to it, but 5 episodes is
Yeah,
intriguing.
5 episodes. It's
Are
like
they
20
half an hour
minutes
long?
episode.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you should check it out.
Is John Glazer the guy from who's Jam in Parks and
Mhm.
Rec? Okay.
Yeah, he's the man. He's on Girls and
Oh yeah. I forgot that he was in Girls.
those two, that couple. Oh my god.
They're
What's her
fucking
name?
awesome.
I can't remember the character's name. The girl who like lived downstairs in her apartment building.
wait, Adam's sister.
Oh, Adam's sister. Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
forgot about
I
that
forgot her
connection.
name too.
Yeah.
But she's a good character.
Yeah.
What have you watched this week, Adam?
I watched a bunch of stuff. I'll start with the meh. I saw a girl on the train.
Yeah.
Kind of
very
like her.
bad.
I mean, I wouldn't even say like very bad. It's so long, and like the story they're trying to tell like could have been cut down. I feel like so.
Yeah.
Like if it was slimmer, it would have been like a better movie. You know what I'm saying?
I just didn't think any of the characters were like shown. Okay, so I read the book and I'm a fan of the book.
Mhm.
Definitely, if you are into reading, read that book. But it was very like all the book was like inner dialogue and like these people's like private thoughts. So when I was like seeing people like say these things out loud,
Yeah,
I was like,
it felt different.
this is really weird and like kind of unrealistic for a woman to just be like whispering this shit to her baby
Yeah.
and all this stuff. So
Yeah, I don't know. I liked Emily Blunt, and I liked some of the performances, and like the actors in it. Like all of them are like doing their best with what
Yeah.
they're working with. But yeah, comparing what seems like something completely different from the book than to film, and I don't know. It didn't really exist in like a world that felt normal or weird, real, but also at the same time not like on purpose, sort of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's David Lynch light.
yeah,
Seriously.
yeah,
like,
no, you're right.
I also saw Nocturnal Animals. That movie is ridiculous. I put it in the meh column only to like separate these two. I really think I liked it more than I didn't like it, but it's like it's something. Like it's like I don't know what to say. Like it's not really like a movie to me. Like it's like the most movie of all time, basically. I feel like, it's some guy who wants to just like put his statement out and like, this is what like everything should look like and feel like, and that's why there's like the plot device in that to like have the other storyline going on. And I thought that was interesting. That really got me, but it's something. The performances in that are really good too. Oh yeah, I just saw Get Out. Did you see that yet?
No, but I really want to.
Yeah.
I really, really want to.
Everybody should go run out and see that shit. We'll talk more about it like whenever everybody sees it, but
Cool.
it's really good. So I also saw Light Between Oceans, which was Derek C. and France, like third film with Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander. She was great. Rachel Wise also, just like a beautiful, like sweeping, epic, romantic, heartbreaking, tragic tale. It was really good. I feel like it didn't get a lot of like mention in the Oscar buzz world this year, but I don't know that it's fully deserving of that. But I feel like it's something I'm going to revisit later and fully enjoy as much, But it wasn't like it's not super Oscar caliber or like award caliber to me, so I understand why like such a strong year this year, you know what I mean? Yeah, I also saw Boyhood recently, and that's Richard Linklater's, like, I think it was like 12-year, like some movie he made over like 12 years with the same people. Maybe it was like 15 years, but basically just like a family growing up. Like main focus on like the kid, but the mom and the dads that are around, and like his sister are like all involved in like this process too, and it's like just a really beautiful like story about growing up in small town Texas and moving around when your mom is like down on her luck. And I sort of related a lot to it, and like his dad is not around all the time, but when he is, he's good. So there's like he's basically grows up to be like a good guy, but like an inverted fella, and I really like relate to that. But yeah, it was really good. Everybody should go see that.
What did you watch this week?
I have 2 movies to mention. I watched Eyes Wide Shut for the first time ever, and I watched it while I like couldn't sleep one night, and I threw it on at like 2 in the morning, and holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew it was like Stanley Kubrick, and I knew that Nicole Kidman is in it, but for some reason I didn't realize Tom Cruise was in it until I like pressed play and like saw his name.
And you don't like Tom Cruise, right?
I do not like Tom Cruise. So when I saw his name, I was like, fuck! Yeah. So it took me like every like fiber of my being to not turn it off, but I stuck through it, and I'm glad that I did, because it was like one of the only movies where I don't mind him in and don't want to just like fucking scream. So yeah, so it like really scared the shit out of me. And it's like definitely one of those movies that makes me not want to get married, but also like makes me really want to get rich. So yeah, I mean, it's Kubrick, it's worth seeing.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like I could go really deep with it, but I don't really want to right now. And I think one of my favorite parts of it, though, that I should mention is the set design. Like, especially in Tom Cruise's and Nicole Kidman's house. I thought the house was, like, insane.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting that they were, like, married at the time, too. That's, like, a really interesting dynamic and the layer added to everything. Also, Nicole Kidman is fucking gorgeous. Okay. The other movie I want to mention is Beware the Slender Man. And this is an HBO documentary. I've been tracking it and wanting to see it for a few months now, and I was finally able to watch it last night. It's about Slender Man. For those who don't know, fictional character, but it's also centered around a case with these 2 12-year-old girls who took their friend into the woods and stabbed her multiple times because they like genuinely thought that if they didn't do so, that Slender Man would kill their whole families. And so there's like a few different focuses in this where it's like they give like this huge backstory to Slender Man and how that came to be, and then it focuses on the girls and actually has like I don't want to say like interrogation because it really wasn't like an interrogation, but it was just like them sitting in a room with a cop and like both of them telling them what happened.
Yeah.
And explaining pretty much. And then there's also like a focus on, they had like a blurb that kind of like, I feel shitty for laughing, but it kind of made me laugh because it was like how like memes came to be, and I was just like, fuck. And then I was like, I can't believe like this is in a documentary. But yeah, and it also has like a really, really heavy focus on the parents of both of the girls, and like really tracks them throughout the entire like trial process. Or actually hasn't even officially gone to trial yet. That's happening this year. But through the whole process of them being like incarcerated and everything. And that was like really, that part where it like focuses on the parents is like super heartbreaking, especially with one of the dads who he's like talking, and there's a point where he gets really emotional because he's talking about his daughter being incarcerated, and the daughter's like still talking about the friend that she stabbed as if like they were still friends, and like it was like very obvious that like she's like loves this girl that she like stabbed multiple times.
Weird.
And one of the last things that the girl like said to her while she was stabbing was like, I trusted you and like I hate you. And also the same guy, like the same father, kind of became aware of like his own mental illness that he like has a way more mild case of than his daughter does. And he's like it's like a weird like responsibility guilt thing. So it was just really crazy. It wasn't what I expected, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but the focuses on it, like the different things that it focuses on, kind of threw me off. But yeah, I would see it. It's kind of important, I think, especially in like an internet culture.
It's on HBO now, you said?
Yeah, it's on HBO Go now. Yeah, I've actually been like thinking about it like all day. So.
Is it creepy?
Not as creepy as I thought it would be. It's really more of like a personal thing with the parents, I think, and it has like a whole thing on like mental illness and everything, because one of the girls was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and she's like 13 years old, which
Creepy.
is insane. Well, I know a movie that we all watched.
Ed Wood.
Edward.
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 It's pretty much just I guess I'm going to say it's probably a fictionalized retelling of the life of Ed Wood, who was a filmmaker in I guess it was the early 50s or 60s. I'm not sure what the
I think it's like
time period was.
Probably around then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had ideas that were pretty grandiose for his time and his budget, definitely. But he was determined to make the films that he wanted to make, and he had a very strong vision, and he picks up a couple friends along the way.
Yeah, he's like a pre-Roger Corman kind of guy.
It was my first time seeing this movie. I actually had it, like, I had not even heard of this movie before a couple weeks ago when Dave was talking about it. And it's kind of, I mean, it came out in 1994, and it was directed by Tim Burton. And so it came out a year before I was born. So the one thing I will say, and I don't mean to be, like, overly negative here, but it's kind of a shame that I grew up in a time where, like, the quality of his movies was just, like, dwindling, I think, especially in, like, the 2000s. And that's, like, what I'm used to seeing, like, fucking Alice in Wonderland and whatever. But, so, I mean, for that reason, I tend to, like, forget that he, like, really is talented and, like, does have, like, really good movies, and this is one of them. And it's also a shame, I'm not going to go into this, like, deeply, but it's also a shame that I have such a low opinion of Johnny Depp, because both things kind of made me not excited to watch this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, whatever. Like, the movie's good. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, that's just something I wanted to mention.
Yeah, I'm definitely not, like, a huge Johnny Depp person at all. I just think he's, like, a cheeseball and, you know, hasn't been up to par with, like, how he was, like, promising back in the day, and he was in some good stuff. I just feel like he's, like, he's a cash cow now, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it is what it is. I mean, he made a choice at some point to start doing that, but yeah, so it's fun to see him, like, be in a role, you know what I mean, and, like, portraying somebody else, like, even though it was, like, a little, like, obnoxious at points in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the guy's
Yeah,
character.
but but I'm glad that he portrayed that, like, after all the like stuff he goes through in this movie, like he's still got that.
Yeah, he's always
And I know that that's Ed Wood,
positive,
but it's awesome
mostly.
that like he was able to like portray that like really well the whole time. I feel like it's just like a love letter to like their old like monster movie
Mhm.
like fandom. You know what I'm saying? Like him and Tim Burton from back in the day.
And just the whole, not just Hollywood back in that
Yeah, yeah,
time too. It
yeah,
was, I mean, Hollywood is something that endures. You know, it has definitive eras,
yeah.
and you know that was one where it was still gaining traction. You know,
Right.
like there was so much potential and growth, and you know he definitely pushed some of the boundaries to kind of.
Get his shit out there. He was cool. He seems like a really cool dude. I would like to look more into Ed Wood really than anything. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I loved that he was just like a relentless optimist.
yeah,
And he just kind of had this like almost like innocent, naive like approach to all of his conversations and like the things that were happening.
yeah.
And it was like, oh, like maybe this will be the one, you know? And I don't know, that kind of attitude is both good and bad to have. What?
But once he was driven, he would, you know, kind of stretch the truth a little bit to
Oh,
get
yeah.
his movies made. He was, you know, and there was only one time when he was not being optimistic, and that's when he left and went to the bar and ran into Orson Welles.
Yeah,
And that was
yeah,
great
that's a great
casting.
scene.
D'Onofrio as
Definitely.
Orson Welles.
Fun fact, they never actually met in real life.
Orson
Really?
Welles and
Ed Wood
Ed
and
Wood.
Oh,
Orson
yeah.
Welles never met in real
I'd,
life.
I'd imagine,
Yeah.
you know, it's because it's
I mean,
played
obviously
up
it's like
so much in
fictionalized,
this
but
in this
I just thought
movie.
that was like interesting because that was like
Yeah.
a big. I mean,
Plot moment,
yeah,
definitely. That was a cool scene.
yeah.
D'Onofrio.
Shout out, my goo punch head.
He definitely is. Yeah, I don't know. As someone who like loves like all things macabre, I loved that. Basically, like it's just these people who are making these monster movies in a time where like the world isn't like that, and I just loved how everything looked. Right outside Bela Lugosi's door is like fucking another street of like the same houses that he
Oh, yeah.
has, but inside is like all like super unique and like dark and feels like a dungeon and like some like faraway castle. Like it's so cool. Like I love like that like bringing those characters like into a real world. It was awesome to see. Like when he shows up at the fucking movie premiere with like that gangle, like of just all of them
Oh,
like
yeah.
are in the car and they're all like getting out, like stumbling on the street.
Well, Tor is doing it because he has the contact
Yeah,
lenses
yeah.
and he can't see anything. He's
Right.
walking into walls and
So good.
yeah, that was great. And that was another reason that I wanted to do this movie is because George the Animal Steel
Oh,
is the guy who played that, and he also died earlier this week.
Yeah.
So, boo on death.
Yeah, I was gonna say that guy looked familiar. He's like the wrestler who's in the main wrestling scene, right?
Yeah, and then he played a couple of roles.
All the rest in pieces,
Yeah.
all of them.
This is also, not only is it about Ed Wood, but it's also just as much of a story about the tragedy of Bela Lugosi's later years, you know, when he was pretty
How
much
much?
forgotten.
Like, what is like the reality of that? It was all.
I think it's pretty true.
That's-
I mean, to
It's
have
a bummer.
yeah, and I love that he was just pissed at Karloff the whole time.
Oh
still.
yeah. And they even have that bit at the end, like, still like Bela Lugosi outsells Boris Karloff. It's like Jesus,
Yeah.
like, chill out, Tim Burton.
I mean, Karloff was good too. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all,
They're all good.
I guess, just
No,
for those
that-
two, they're like, and I
that is
guarantee
such
they
a
both
funny
hated
dynamic.
Lon Chaney too.
No, it's really funny.
The use of black and white was also super effective. It was like a combo of the black and white and the soundtrack, which was amazing. That's just like a really ideal and entertaining style for the subject matter.
Definitely.
Howard Shore.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Howard, the Shore Man. It's Pauly Shore's dad.
I also like that. Every time somebody mentioned Bela Lugosi, they were like, "Isn't he dead?"
Oh yeah. He's like behind them.
Yeah.
No, I'm not dead.
One of the only other times I've seen a movie with Sarah Jessica Parker in it that wasn't the Sex and the City movies or Hocus Pocus. So that was cool because I liked her.
No Family Stone.
I forgot about that. I love Family Stone.
Now that you mention it, I think this is the only Sarah Jessica Parker movie that I've seen too, except for what was the one with her and Helen Hunt and Shannon Doherty? Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Is that what that was?
Oh yeah.
I don't know
I
that
forgot
one.
Shannon Doherty was in that. Also, just shout out to Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
His makeup is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like
I love it.
I love like the character, and it's like cool how they have the bit at the end of like, you know, the guy like moved to New Jersey and he's like still didn't go through the sex change, but he's like probably still wearing makeup somewhere. Like I appreciate that, but Bill Murray just looks fucking creepy as shit with that makeup on. Like I couldn't look at him. Like the contrast of like with like the black and white, like his dark lipstick was just so like jarring.
I love how catty he was too.
Yeah.
Like with everything.
Yeah, he's great in that role. But yeah, Sarah Jessica Parker, I feel like again, like they have like the blurb at the end about her, like that woman like going on to like do better things. I'm like, I understand like this woman doesn't want to be like she can only take it for so long, but they like make her to look like such a bad guy. And I feel like that's how like Family Stone is for Sarah Jessica Parker too. She's always getting these roles where she's like she's doing sort of a good thing, but like getting shit on for it, basically. Like or like she's put in that kind of role. I don't know, it's funny.
I love her in Sex and the City. I just been thinking about that now.
Yeah.
I need to stop. I was kind of sad to find out that like Ed Wood and his entourage didn't really get that kind of Hollywood premiere like they did in the movie.
Oh, they never did?
Like, no. I just thought that was like kind of a bummer. I was like, aw.
Yeah, that's what is like weird about like the movie. It's like, and especially now finding out that like a lot of that is like totally it's fiction. It's a bummer.
Yeah, but I mean it's romanticized. And,
yeah,
you know, it
no, that is cool.
More of a hero than you know what he actually is. I mean, because he did influence a lot of people.
Yeah, so I guess that's more like what it.
Yeah, I mean that's it.
Sorry.
You know, it just glorified somebody that needed glorification, pretty much.
Yeah, it's really good. This is post Edward Scissorhands, right?
Yeah.
Scissorhands is 80s?
I think so, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Probably like 89. Cool that like they work together again on like this kind of role.
1990.
Yeah.
So what did he do like in between this?
He did Batman.
Oh shit.
For a minute. That was
91.
Mid-90s, yeah. Or not mid-90s, but early 90s, because I was in high school when the Batman craze hit.
Fuck.
I'm still suffering from the Batman craze to this very day.
Same.
You have no idea. Just Batman.
Right, I don't.
Batman took over this one summer, and it was just insane. Everybody had Batman shirts everywhere you went. Summer of the Bat. Bring back the Bat.
No, don't, because I'm tired of Ben Affleck.
Bring back a different Bat.
Bring back Christian Bale.
Clooney.
That my grandma has that one on VHS. I love
bet.
it. I love it so much.
It's so terrible.
It's so good, dude. Fucking Uma. So, who would you recast and why? Or with who? Not why. Don't tell me why. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
Well, I was thinking about replacing Bill Murray with John Waters. But then the more I thought about it, I thought about how different of a movie this would be if John Waters directed it instead.
So you're vetoing your recast?
So, well, no, I was going to say if John Waters is involved, make him a director. Not saying that Tim Burton did a bad job. I just think it would be the focal point would be probably more on the entourage, you know, since they're kind of more of a zany cast that would probably be in a John Waters movie anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that would be kind of cool, like what if sort of thing.
No, yeah, John Waters
directing this instead.
Something it would be.
And Zappa was on his deathbed in '95, so
true.
I'm
trying to think of who I would. Chriswell was the guy that I was thinking of recasting, but I can't.
I know who I would recast.
I can't think of who. I was thinking Brian Dennehy, but then I was like, it wouldn't fit.
Michael McKean. Replace Chriswell with Michael McKean.
Who's Michael McKean?
The dude from Spinal Tap and
Gotcha. I don't know what that dude
Better
looks like,
Call
I guess.
Saul. How do you not know that?
I know who you're talking about.
Do you?
That is, yeah, I do. I just didn't know he was in Spinal Tap or
Yeah.
his name. So,
When you go
but
to-
I know who you're talking about now.
The first thing that comes up when you go to his IMDb
I
page.
just spit.
That's alright, it's my house. There's a
Oh,
lot
no.
worse fluids on the floor. Sorry, Mom. The first thing that comes up on Michael McKean's IMDb page is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is weird.
That is weird. Yeah, I
But
said
yeah.
I knew who you're talking about.
Michael McKean recast. It's Criswell.
Who would you recast, Adam?
Criswell as Michael with Michael McKean. I just like hate the dude.
That's a good casting.
Yeah, the dude from Ferris Bueller is just like that. His face so annoying to me. I don't know why. Always has been.
Which dude from Ferris Bueller?
Like
He's
the
the principal.
principal.
Oh, right.
That's Criswell. Jeffrey Jones.
I totally forgot who he was for a minute.
Who would you recast?
I would recast Johnny Depp.
With whom?
Just say someone you like.
Okay, someone I like. I don't know. The first person to come to mind was Rami Malek, but that might not be like the best answer. I feel as if he would do a good job with the role,
You know who I think could have handled
and
it?
also in female clothing. That'd be cool.
Skeet Ulrich.
Oh yeah.
Skeet.
Oh, is
Skeet.
that the lookalike, the
Skeet.
Johnny Depp lookalike from Scream?
Yeah.
I almost said that earlier,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Skeet.
Skeet has so much more to offer.
Shout out to Skeet.
He's probably.
Skeet has so much more to offer than just a pretty face.
Did you ever see that show Jericho that he was on?
No, but I heard he was dashing.
It was pretty good. That
Was
show
he?
was good.
I'd watch it.
Did you know Perks of Being a Wallflower?
Mm-hmm.
The guy who wrote that book and like made that movie also created this show in like the late 90s, maybe like 99. Yeah, Stephen Chbosky or something.
Oh, okay. Yep, I remember.
Chobani's.
Stephen Chobani's. God.
That's cool. Wait, so Skeet was a babe in it?
I mean,
When is Skeet?
I'm just
not a
saying the
babe?
show was
I don't know,
good.
it's probably like not.
It was
much
the
of a babe
same. It was
anymore.
like 2 years after Scream, so
Okay, so the answer is
he's probably
yes.
busted. No, I think it's streaming. You should watch that show. It's good.
Cool.
I still think you're pretty cool, Skeet. Don't listen to these two.
I love Skeet Ulrich. I know.
Don't
I've
listen
only
to...
seen him in Scream, honestly, and he was hot in Scream, so I'm like, okay, that's cool.
I'm like same.
Yeah. Fuck. What? Okay, well, did either of you have anything else you wanted to say about Ed Wood?
I liked it. No, seriously, I liked it. I would have probably never seen, I would have never watched this probably for no reason other than it's just something I've looked past forever already. You know what I mean? So I'm always glad to watch something like that. So thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
I liked it too, even though I went into it the same way I go into like most other things with like a very big eye roll.
Right.
But all right, well, that wraps it up for this episode of Filmspeak. If you like what you've been hearing, make sure you follow us on social media. We are on Instagram at Filmspeak, Twitter at FilmspeakPod. We have a Facebook page. We have a YouTube channel. We're on SoundCloud, and we're now on iTunes.
What?
Yeah,
Rate us and review us.
yeah, and subscribe.
Oh yeah, subscribe.
Wait, yep.
The more important part.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I feel like a professional podcaster.
But yeah, so that's exciting. But anyway, I guess have a good week.
All right. I don't know what's wrong with these two. Please have a good week.
Have a good week.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
Edward.
Ed Wood.
Go see Get Out.
Yeah. Bye.